9.3 billion shillings. That is the amount, according to PwC, that was cooked by officials at KUSCCO. That is the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives. In summary, the audit report says this was done by understating costs and overstating incomes. 9.3 billion shillings of SACCO's money. Now, I'll get back to this in just a bit. But first, a story. My story, which is that of many Kenyans. Like many of you, I was educated on SACCO money. My mother took one cooperative loan after another to take us all to school, to clothe us, feed us, basically keep us alive. And thereafter, it was a life of denying herself many luxuries to be able to make the payments, but even more frugality to increase her savings and shares. This at a time when the big banks would not look at her twice. This is the story of many who joined SACCOs. Join a SACCO, they said. You can borrow up to 3 times your savings, they said. The repayment rates are fairer, they said. Until they met KUSCCO. Now let's go back to that figure. 9.3 billion shillings worth of fraud unearthed at what is essentially the SACCO of SACCOs. Now, while that money may belong to member SACCOs, it comes directly from those individual SACCO members like you and I. Those members who scrape every penny, work hard, or hustle, as we like to call it in this country, deny themselves today to save for tomorrow, for their children. That is their money, and it'll eventually have an impact on their lives. Now, the current conversation is highly technical. Big words like SACCOs are setting aside funds or making provisions for the losses, that they are spreading the provisions over a period of 10 years. There is even a debate amongst accountants over which is the best IFRS standard to use. No offense to accountants who do great work, by the way. But all of these big words aside, let us remember that this will translate into real losses for hundreds, if not thousands of Kenyans. And to think that this happened under the eye of regulators like the Commissioner of Cooperatives, the Ministry of Cooperative Development, as well as the main regulator, the SACCO Society's Regulatory Authority, known as SASRA. Where were all these organizations that are meant to safeguard the hard-earned monies of Kenyans? And now we're told that KUSCCO didn't necessarily fall under the ambit of SASRA, and that there were attempts at amending the law. So who dropped the ball? How did a SACCO like KUSCCO end up with assets of 5.2 billion shillings against liabilities of over 17 billion? I mean, it's literally insolvent. Now, that's not all. There have been several SACCOs in this country that have clearly been mismanaged, bringing losses to their members. Kenyans whose complaints, by the way, will bounce from one agency to another. Between the Commission of Cooperatives, SASRA, and even the ministry, no one can tell you where your money is. And now with KUSCCO, the one line that you get from all of them is that they've sent the file to the DCI for further investigations. Investigations? Well and good. But who will compensate those Kenyans who have lost money? Tonight, my message is to the Commissioner of Cooperatives, who has lately been reaffirming his confidence in the growth and resilience of the SACCO sector, even in the wake of the fall of KUSCCO. Kind sir, that resilience you speak of is the hard work of Kenyans. Every day. Do not take it for granted. It is nothing to smile about. Now, even as the former KUSCCO directors are taken to task by the DCI, the leadership of SASRA, the Commissioner of Cooperatives, and the Minister of Cooperative Development and SMEs all owe us answers. How did this happen on your watch? How and why did you fail to safeguard Kenyans' hard-earned money? That's my take tonight.